Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. Guess what? Welcome back to the freaking laundry room. Hell yeah. We haven't done a video in the laundry room for a while. It's a pickups video. If you are new to the channel, thanks for checking us out. I hope you like this. I hope you like physical media, Hong Kong films, all the other stuff I'm going to be talking about on the channel. If you are not subscribed, then you could subscribe. It would be a huge help. Obviously, only if you like the video. Only if you like what I'm talking about, only if you like the channel, but it would be much appreciated if you do like all of those things. And then huge shout out to our patrons who keep this channel running. Some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about right here was bought with Patreon money. All of the money that we get from Patreon goes back into the channel, so we mostly buy Blu-rays with it, sometimes DVDs, sometimes like collectibles and stuff like that, like posters and, you know, VHS copies that I can get. And like, we do have a film print, which is actually... It's just a film print of a trailer for a Jet Li movie, but it's actually like right. You can see that podcast microphone. It's like right next to that, right over there on that shelf. So it's cool. There's some cool stuff in this room. There's a Jackie Chan poster up there. There's a John Woo poster around here somewhere. But this is a pickups video for the physical media junkies among you. I got this fat stack of naughty sauce, and I got another huge jug of filth juice right here. What? I haven't even opened these mother truckers yet. So let's just jump right into it because there's a lot to unpack, literally. I'm going to open this box first because I might, so the two cardboard, you said there was a white one in there. There were the two kind of brown beige cardboard boxes. I know what's in the two brown beige ones. They're from Orbit DVD, which you can see, I think you can see right there, which is, I think these are my first two orders from them. I've ordered like 4 things from them, I think, but they're mostly like pre-orders. So these are the first ones that showed up. And I haven't opened them yet because I thought it would be really fun to open them on camera. So I don't know which one is in which box because there's 2 different orders here ripping into this tight little box. And oh yes, Daddy, is this the one oh yeah, Daddy's excited because this is the one that Daddy was hoping it would be. Oh, Daddy, you ready? Let's do it together. Come on, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. They packaged the shit out of this, by the way. Shout out to Orbit. Yes, Twin Dragons. So if you know the story about this, I was able to review this before I had the release because 88 Films was gracious enough to send me a check disc, which is like the quality control discs that they get. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, we have like a couple extra. Do you want one? And I was like, yes, please. So I already reviewed this, but I have not even did. The colors on this printing are just so good. So this artwork by Sean Longmore. I just think it looks amazing. So I love these deluxe boxes. I love box. Like, I just like, you know, like you get a box in a box and there's just so much box and you just get anyway. So there you go. That's the disc when you pull it out, and then reversible artwork. Dude, this is just like delectable. Look at all this. There's like so much stuff in here that it's like, it's overwhelming to think that I have like 14. I'm doing this really quickly because I'm getting like heinous glare. And I don't want you to just like be annihilated by, yeah, that's kind of like a glareless view. There you go. I'm like, this, I could do a whole video just about this release. And then I'm looking at this massive pile of stuff and I'm like, oh, Daddy, you took on too much today. Look at this. This is awesome. I love this. Twin Jackies. There's the back. You always got to check out the back once you're in the box, right? Oh, cool. Look at this. So sometimes when they include these little postcards, here's a Japanese poster, they all kind of have the same thing on the back. These like reproduction lobby cards or whatever these are, but it looks like these are all, yeah, these are all different. This is really cool. A little Japanese for you there. And here's this one. And that's what's on the back of that one. Little Golden Harvest logo down there. Cool. All right, so let's put that back in the box. And then we also have one of like the mega booklets here. And it looks like, well, geez, we got a poster too. Dude, they went like all out on this release. This is a big ass poster too. This isn't like one of those tiny little mini posters. Awesome. And awesome. And booklet. This thing is chunky. You can't, like, it's heavy. You can't tell by looking at it, but it's like Daddy like to smell it. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with this? We're on the first release of like 11 and I've already lost my mind. This is the effect of the laundry room. If you know the history of the laundry room, I typically film in here when it's late in the day. So it is late in the day and I'm a little bit losing my mind. So the twin effect, How to Double a Dragon by Thorsten Boos, Twin Dragons, Dual Personas, Jackie Chan's Bridge Between the 80s and 90s by Paul Bramall, Then and Now, and Special Thanks. So it's like 70 plus pages long here. And just like amazing photographs. And I mean, if you don't already have this, I don't know if this is sold out yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Like, this is one of those movies where like it has like a bit of a reputation of being like, some fans love it. Some fans think it's like, oh, it's not my cup of tea. It's like too slapstick or too silly or whatever. But like, the fans are coming out of the woodwork now that this releases out, and like everyone is really getting behind this movie who likes it. And it's like, it's been really cool to see, like, this is not a movie a lot of people talk about, I find, when you're going kind of through the list of your favorite Jackie movies or whatever. But now that it's come out in this like deluxe edition, a lot of people are coming out and being like, yeah, I've always really loved that one. Like, that's a great movie. Like, I freaking love this movie. I had so much fun. This is all the cameos. This is really cool. There's really, really amazing cameos, such as Lau Kar-wing is the tympanum player, which I noticed while I was watching the movie. Anyway, I could just do like a 10-minute video on this alone, so we're going to move on to the next release, but that is super amazing, exciting. I'm really, really glad to finally have this like physically in my hands. I'm like, should I watch it again? I watched it how many times? How many commentary tracks were there? I can't remember if I watched it 3 times in a week or 2 times or... I kind of want to watch it again. That is awesome. That is a fantastic release. Hell yes. Okay, so let's do some Eureka. Skyhawk. So I already reviewed this. You already know what I think about this. This movie was freaking awesome. I loved it. It's the same director as King Boxer, which is one of my absolute favorite Shaw Brothers films. And I just love the crap out of this movie. It's a Kwon King movie that stars Sammo Hung and Carter Huang, and it's a Wong Fei Hung movie with Kwon King, excuse me. And it's just a really awesome old school martial arts movie where you have this really, I really liked the narrative setup of this film. It really reminded me of King Boxer in that instead of having a single protagonist and a single villain, or maybe like, you know, protagonist, mentor, and then the villains, you have like, I would say like half a dozen characters. I really like this artwork. I might reverse that. No offense to Darren Wheeling, who I think did this, but there's a bunch of characters in this movie that affect the trajectory of the plot. And so the plot moves in really interesting ways. And it's like, there's a butt ton of fighting in this movie, and the fighting is awesome. I think Sammo Hung was the action director, the fight choreographer, or whatever in this film. And this is by James Oliver here. But the story never stops either. Like, it's one of these stories where like something happens and then someone reacts to it, and then that affects this other person, and then they react to it, and then it's constant complications, and the plot is constantly twisting in these really interesting ways, and characters are constantly finding themselves in these really, really difficult situations where they have to make really tough decisions. And it's just it's a really, really good story with really strong characters that is also just like a freaking awesome old school martial arts movie. So like, this one is like top marks for me. I really, really loved the crap out of this movie, and I'm really happy Eureka put it out, and I'm very happy to have it. And that is a very fancy edition. So more Eureka, possibly my favorite Hong Kong first watch of the year. It's a film I hadn't seen before, so new to me in 2023. She Shoots Straight. I freaking loved this movie, which you'll know if you watch my review of it. I freaking love this movie. Girls with Guns bonanza, but it's like a melodrama as much as it is an action or martial arts film. And I loved that because I really like character-driven dramas. And I thought this was just a really, really fantastic example of like a really, really strong character-driven dramatic film that incorporated lots of action and fighting and stuff like that. I would say that this is my favorite Korean film. I liked it more than Yes Man. I would say I liked it more than Righting Wrongs. It's just a really, really, really good film, and I really, really loved it. Like I can't emphasize enough. Like Joyce Godenzi is freaking incredible in this movie. Like the cast is really, look at that. That's awesome. The cast in this movie is really fantastic, and it's like the Skyhawk. It sets up a big cast of really good characters, and it gives them really tough decisions to make, and it follows them through the really harrowing, tragic drama of dealing with the consequences of decisions, especially when, you know, because the central characters in this film are all police officers. They're dealing with life and death situations, so they're dealing with their own personal private dramas and the complexity of human emotions and jealousy and things of that nature, while also dealing with these life or death situations. And it's really fantastic movie, and I loved the crap out of it. Now there are some non-Hong Kong movies in here. I apologize. And the next one is one of those, but I actually did a video for this movie on the channel, even though it's not a Hong Kong film. It's from Unearthed Films and is an Italian movie. It's called Suburra. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but I loved the absolute shit out of this freaking movie. It is so, so, so good. Like it kind of has Scarface vibes because it has these really over-the-top dramatic emotions, but it has this really kind of subdued, very like vibey ambiance to it. And in that respect, it reminded me a little bit of Johnny Tone. It reminded me a little bit of Michael Mann. So if you imagine like taking like Michael Mann kind of vibes, Johnny Toe kind of style and tone, and then combining it with these really over the top emotions and bursts of violence like you have in a movie like Scarface. And that's kind of what this movie is. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think. And there's something like 8 or 9 characters who like are actually central to the film and like pushing the plot in different directions. And like, I wouldn't say there's a single protagonist in this movie. It's really like a character. It kind of, I don't want to like harp on this comparison because I use this a lot as an easy shorthand. Kind of reminded me of Shakespeare. In a Shakespeare play, you do have a central character, but all of the characters around them are pushing the story in different directions, and they all have these different desires and motivations, and they're all interacting and conflicting in different ways. This really kind of reminded me of like the setup of a Shakespeare play, even like kind of the structure of it. Like this is based around a series of days that almost act like acts, like you have in a play with different acts. And this is from the director of Sicario, The Day of the Soldado, who also did Without Remorse, the Amazon film with Michael B. Jordan in it. And he did All Cops Are Bastards, the Italian film. He did Gomorrah, the television show. And then he also had a movie just premiere at, I think, the Venice Film Festival. I can't remember the name of it, but it got really positive response to it there. So I'm definitely going to check that out. It's just a freaking amazing crime thriller if you're a fan of crime thrillers. So let's open another box, shall we? I forgot to cross my address off of that, so we might have to do some blurring in the editing. All right, so I did open this box. This is still in the box, but I opened it because when it arrived, one of my kids was like, "Oh, is that a present for me?" And I was like, "No, I think it's a movie for me." And they're like, "Let me open it." And then they were like, "Can I watch it?" And I was like, "Well, you're 4 years old, and the movie is Fatal Termination, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. But maybe when you're a little bit older, yeah, hell yeah." So shout out to Error 4444 or 4444. However you choose to pronounce it, let me know in the comments below. This is their release of Fatal Termination, which I have not watched yet. Obviously, I just got it like a day or two ago. As you can see, it's not even open. It's still in the plastic wrap. But this is my first release from them. And I'm really, really excited about it. And I know they're releasing some other stuff that looks really cool to me, like some martial arts movies and stuff like that. So I will be ordering more things from them. But I am really excited to have... I'm trying to like figure out how to open this because it's very sealed. But yeah, and I'm really excited to see this movie because I'm a big Moon Lee fan. Obviously, Moon Lee is in this film, and this movie is famous for having that completely insane child endangerment stunt. I'm ripping into it. Here we go. Yeah, so let me just Oh god, I'm really fighting with the plastic. Jesus. Here we go. Okay, so there's the cover there, trying to minimize the glare. And here on the back, so the special features that are listed here are we have a new 4K restoration, 4K English dub cut, which is 85, so 93 minutes for the one of them, and then 85 minutes for the dub. Man of Action, Ridley Choi interview, The Man from Cornwall, a Mike Abbott interview, audio commentary with Kenneth Borson and Phil Gillen of the Podcast on Fire Network. Their commentaries are always really fun. Chinese dub ending scene, new English and Chinese subtitles, and more. So, and we open it up, and okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. So this is what you see when you open the release. So obviously, disc is here. Are these stickers? There's like Swagapalooza in here. These are stickers. What? That's cool. That's the scene, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I've never seen this movie, but yeah, that looks like the scene. And you get a sticker of it. And here's the booklet. That's cool. I like the cover there. Should we give it a sniff? We always give it a sniff when we're in the box. So, contents, cast and crew, Moon Lee, The Mother with Guns by Jessica Young, Caution to the Wind by Michelle Kistner. So here we go. We got some essays going on there. Ooh, that's cool. I like, there's like this booklet, the way it's put together and the way it's like printed like this and like these giant paragraphs. And it kind of reminds me of like a zine from like the 90s. I don't know if we got any people who like grew up in the zine culture. I was like super into like punk rock and some other like more underground music genres, I guess, when I was in high school. So I would like read zines about local scenes. And it just kind of reminds me of that. It's really cool. It almost has like this kind of like hand-built feel to it that I really like. Okay, so there you go. So that is Fatal Termination from Error 44. 44. So there's, like I said, there's a couple non-Hong Kong things in here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the stickers back in the thing. So if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. And let me know what you think about the transfer here, too. Because I saw some people saying the transfer was, like, hard to watch. And other people were saying, no, it's totally fine. And I saw, like, a clip from it on Twitter of someone was like, see how hard this is to watch. And I watched it, and I'm like, I don't see it. Like, I don't see what's hard to watch about it. But I wasn't watching it on a giant TV. I was watching it on my screen, or on my phone. I mean, so, like, obviously, you're not getting the best view of it. Okay, so Eureka Entertainment put out 3 films of the director of Possession, which is a very, very famous and notorious film. I have never seen that film, which I know is terrible, and I really want to see that movie. Eastern European cinema. He's a Polish filmmaker. His name is Andrzej Zulawski. Now, I know that is not how you pronounce it because I watched some of the bonus features on here, and that is 110% not how you pronounce it, but I do not speak any Polish. I don't even have the slightest inclination as to how to pronounce Polish things. So he's a Polish filmmaker. And like I said, Eastern European cinema really is a blind spot for me. Like, I've seen 7 of the 8 Tarkovsky films. I love Tarkovsky. I'm a huge fan. Other than that, I've seen the Three Colors trilogy. I've seen 3 episodes of the Decalogue. I have the Criterion release of that, and I'm kind of like slowly making my way through it. And then I watched the first film on here. But I was so excited when Eureka announced this, because I'd been wanting to see On the Silver Globe, which is the 3rd film in this set, for a very long time. And so when they released the Blu-ray, or when they announced the Blu-ray release of it, I was like, I have to get my hands on that. So I'm really, really, this is like a deluxe box, like hard box, and this is the Masters of Cinema series. And so there's 1 double feature and then 1 standalone release on here, plus a booklet. So the first disc is a double feature of The Third Part of the Night, which I watched, which is a kind of an astonishing movie. It's about a guy in Poland during the Nazi occupation. And there's an opening scene, and then stuff starts to happen, and it's like kind of confusing and weird. And then you realize that what's happening is that there's no delineation between past, present, and future. And so everything that happens in the kind of temporal frame of the film is happening in a totally like disassociative way, where you'll have a scene that takes place in the past that leads directly into a scene that's taking place in the present, that leads directly into a scene that's taking place in the past. And it's this like psychotic chaos where like it's like taking the violence and the terror and the fear and the trauma of like World War II and the Nazi occupation and the Holocaust in a way. Even the Holocaust is like talked about, but it's not really part of the film. Um, and turning it into like a psychological thriller horror film. It's one of the most unique films I've seen in quite a while, and I was really, really, really impressed by it, and I cannot wait. That's the only one I've watched so far. That movie was so intense. I thought I was gonna like blow through these because I was so excited to get them. That movie was so intense that I had to take like a little bit of a break before I watched the next one. So the next one is called The Devil. And this is what it says here on the back. The Devil is a violent tale of satanic seduction set during the Prussian invasion of Poland in the 17th century, which proved so controversial on its release that it was banned for 16 years. So for the third part of the night, there's 2 video essays on here. I watched both of those, and I learned a lot about Zulawski, which is, again, not how you pronounce his name, and I apologize, which I didn't really know that much about him before. That was really interesting to learn. And then his kind of analysis, interpretation, discussion of the historical context of the film and stuff like that, which I think Michael Brook is the guy's name who does those pieces. And they were both really fantastic, and I'm really glad that they were on here. And then we have On the Silver Globe. There you go. I cannot wait to watch this movie. I'm going to watch them in order. I'm being very dogmatic about it. So this one's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Third part of the night, I think, was around hour 45 or so. And then I think around 2 hours for The Devil. And then 2:45 for On the Silver Globe. And then here's the back of it. And there's 2 discs here. So that one. And then there's an image from the film there. And then you get that disc there. And then this one has a ton of bonus material on it. So it has Escape to the Silver Globe, UK debut of the acclaimed documentary on the production history of this film, because this film has a very turbulent production history, which you will learn if you watch that documentary. Brand new audio commentary by Daniel Bird, Adam Zulawski and Jerzy Zulawski. Brand new interview. Oh, Adam Zulawski on Jerzy. Okay. I apologize for that. Jerzy? I'm not even going to try to pronounce Polish names. I'm really sorry. I know I'm butchering the crap out of these pronunciations. Return to the Silver Globe. 2019 footage of cinematographer Andrzej Jarosewicz revisiting the Polish salt mine used as a filming location for On the Silver Globe. The cinematography of On the Silver Globe, new documentary by Daniel Bird, and Lunar Futurism. That's a fucking fantastic title. New documentary by Daniel Bird. And again, I'm really sorry about the Polish names. And then, look at that image, dude. Amazing booklet here with lots and lots of stuff in it. So there's in third part of the night, I learned something about Poland during World War II, which is that there was a job you could get where they would put like, was it like lice or mites or like some little parasite bug? They would put them in this little cage and put it up against your skin. And basically your job was to sit there and get eaten by these bugs because they were using it for a cure for like a common disease. I can't remember if it was polio or typhoid or like something. It was like tuberculosis, like something like that, right? And so these people sit there and they get eaten by these bugs, and then they go home, and they, everywhere they go, they constantly feel like they're being eaten by bugs. It's like this thing is driving them insane. And that's just like part of the insanity of that movie. The Enigmas of Zulawski. It's an essay there by Philip Kemp. And I mean, I could just go on and on and on showing you this booklet, but I'll just show you a couple more of the images. I'm just so excited about this release. Okay, so from Polish psycho horror, let's turn a corner to 1980s. I'm trying to put everything away at once, and it's just too big for the box. You got to put it in a little bit at a time to get the whole big fat. There we go. Okay. Valley Girl, fuck yes. I was so excited when Eureka released this movie. I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. Deborah Foreman and Nicolas Cage. This again is a hard box release from Eureka. This movie is so fun. It's a great LA movie. I live in LA. I love LA. This is a great LA movie. It's a really fun 80s like coming of age movie. It's this really interesting mixture of it has like this pseudo sort of documentary feel where there's a lot of just like great footage of LA in the 80s and of like the Valley suburban mall culture and like the Hollywood like punk rock nightlife culture. But then it's also like a very hyperbolic, silly, over the top 80s movie. It's so good. And there's a ton of bonus material on here. And if you're, a child of the 80s, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the 40th anniversary of this movie, right? So I was born in the year that this movie came out. So, like as a kid, we go to the video store and we would get movies like this to watch. And so I actually saw this movie for the first time relatively recently, within like the past few years. But it's so of that era that I had like instant nostalgia for it and for like being a kid and like watching stuff like that on TV and like Adventures in Babysitting and like what like other like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and like other 80s stuff that would be on TV when I was a kid, like obviously 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, like Ferris Bueller, like all those movies. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited. I haven't watched this yet. I got it maybe like a week or two ago, and I started a new job recently, which is why there hasn't been as much content on the channel as I have been putting up recently, because I'm still kind of getting used to look at that naughty little Nicolas Cage doing his little run up the beach. Yes, daddy. I've just been kind of figuring out my new schedule at work and stuff like that, but yeah. This is awesome. I'm so excited about this. Okay, so should we get back to Hong Kong? Because that's the point of this channel. So we got 3 of the 88 films. These little slim case releases here, which I really, really like. 2 of these I've already reviewed. 1 of them I haven't. So we have Taxi Hunter here. The printing on these slip cases is just freaking fantastic. I don't know who they found who's printing these, but the colors are just amazing. It just looks amazing when it comes and you hold it in your hand. Sean Longmore did the artwork on these. This is a Herman Yao movie with Anthony Wong in it. I cannot overemphasize, as I said in my review of this film, this is not like an exploitation category 3, like trashy, uber violent film. This is really kind of a drama about a guy who suffers a great tragedy and then kind of like starts to lose it a little bit. Oh, oops, that's upside down. So this is the Sean Longmore artwork poster here, and then we flip that around. Anthony Wong, 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 Wong. Somebody needs to redo the Thong Song by Cisco as the Wong song about Anthony Wong. That is the task I give you today. If you are a musician and you are watching this video, freaking loved this movie. I loved this freaking movie. If you want to know, I did like a pretty extensive review of this movie. This is Ronnie Yu. It's called The Postman Strikes Back. Stars Beardy and Chow Yun-fat is in it, and Eddie Ko is in it, and Sherry Chung is in it. Like, freaking fantastic cast in this movie. This movie is awesome. It is so good. It's like a batshit insane, like, period martial arts movie mixed with like this kind of gritty, violent Hong Kong new wave film that's like kind of grounded and intense, and but then it has freaking ninjas and ice skating bandits with swords and like, yeah, it's awesome. This is like right up my alley, because it's like, on the one hand, it's like a really good, like grounded, interesting historical thriller with like solid characters and really good directing and like, like good pacing and like great scene work and stuff like that. And then on the other hand, it's just this batshit insane period martial arts movie. And it's just, I love the absolute cretin spanking turd out of that film. And The Last Blood, the Wong Jing movie. Hell yeah. So I haven't seen this movie yet. Alan Tam and Andy Lau are in this. And it's Andy Lau's birthday. Well, Andy Lau's birthday is at the end of September. So I think this came out at the end of September. So this was released for his birthday month, wasn't it? Or did this come out in October? I honestly can't remember. I really liked Alan Tam in Esprit d'Amour, which is Ringo Lam's first movie, which I reviewed for Patreon not too long ago. Really liked him in that movie. And then I went back, I've like watched Dragon Family again recently, and he was in, obviously he's in Armor of God, and I've gotten really into kind of Alan Tam as an actor recently. And so I'm really excited to check this movie out. AKA Hard Boiled 2, very notorious title that people really don't like. And then here's the inside, so you get the poster again with this one, and look at that gun. Dude, that is a big gun. And artwork again by Sean Longmore, whose artwork I just think is really fantastic, and I've been loving it. There's the poster, and that is The Last Blood. Oh, and if you're interested in what kind of bonus stuff, I guess it's got audio commentary with Hong Kong film expert Frank Jang. It's got an English trailer, a Hong Kong trailer, and then the reversible artwork and stuff like that. And then there's a fair amount of stuff on Postman Strikes Back that's got like audio commentary with Frank and director Ronnie Yu. Okay, I got to mention that too. That is a freaking incredible commentary because it's the director of the movie literally talking about the movie for the entire length of the movie. I don't need to say anything else going by it. And our final box. Let's bust this bad boy open. I'm doing as much work as I can on these boxes. Really open them up and get everything out of them. Here we go. All right, so this is another Orbit order. Oh, yeah. Ooh, mama. That is substantial. Look at that chunk. Here we go. Fight Back to School set. Hell yes, Stephen Chow. So I'm really excited that 2023 is like shaping up to be the year of Stephen Chow because there's From Beijing with Love, these 3 films, the Royal Tramp movies. I think I've only seen I've seen Stephen Chow in movies, but in terms of like Stephen Chow movies, I think I've seen 3 of them. I've seen Fight Back to School 2. It's the only film in this series I've seen, which I thought was really funny, and I'm really excited to see again because it's been a while. I've seen Kung Fu Soccer, or Shaolin Soccer, rather, excuse me, and then I've seen Kung Fu Hustle. Those are the movies of his I've seen. Like, that's it. So I'm really excited to check out more Stephen Chow. So this is the fold-around thing that has the bonus features and stuff listed on it that comes off, and then you have back artwork there. That's the spine. That's the front. And there are 3 films here, which each come in their own cases. So we have Fight Back to School. Right there. Released in 1991. And then you get reversible artwork too, which you can see here. I'm trying to like not get you glare. I'm sorry. It's just like glare o'clock in Battyville right now. Then we have Fight Back to School 2, the one I've seen before, and it's got my favorite color. It's blue. I love blue. Blue is such an amazing color. Let me know in the comment. If you're still watching 30 minutes into this video, woohoo! It's a long one. Let me know in the comments what your favorite color is. That'd be an interesting thing to know. It's blue for me all day. It has been since I was a kid, and it hasn't changed. It's the color of the ocean. It's the color of the sky. What's not to love about blue? And there's that song, I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. Da-na-na, cream pie. Is that how that song goes? It's like something about a daddy cream pie, right? I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, and I give daddy cream pies, da-ba-dee-ma-ma-ma-ma-ma-ma-ma-ma-ma. It's been a while since I heard that song, but I think it's something like that. Anyway, so there you go. That's the Fight Back to School set. So let me see, and I don't know, I mean, that's one of those things where I'm like, I'm really excited this is out. I'm really excited to see these movies. I'm also like, when in the fart of crap am I going to have time to watch all of these movies? It's just, it's like, it's amazing, amazing, amazing that we are living in such incredible times as fans of, obviously if you're watching this channel, I'm assuming you're a fan of physical media and also just huge cinephiles. But it's also like, Lord have mercy. Oh, my stomach's bubbling. Where am I going to fit in all of these movies? Look at this. Look at this. It just keeps going. That's what she said. Can you believe we fit all this in the bug? Okay, I'm going to stop. My name is Will. You're watching Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. That video is long as shit. I thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.